Yeah, so you may restart, please.
Yes, so it's my absolute privilege and honor to introduce our guest speaker today, Dr. Abhishek Modi, dentist, founder and chief dento, facial implantologist and cosmetic surgeon at Dr. Teeth Implant and Aesthetic Center and Lura Cosmetic Clinic. He is a dental graduate from MGM Dental College, Mumbai. After graduation, he completed his studies and completed certificate courses in smile designing and dental cosmetics, clear aligners, suture and minor surgical procedure, and digital photography. With a passion of dental surgery, he persuaded his fellowship in implantology from Babuji Dental College. And recently, he completed his diploma in facial and hair aesthetic from Trinity Academy, Mumbai. 7 years of experience in dental expertise with completion of over 300 smile designed and over 1,000 and above implants successfully completed and restored. He has 2 dental clinics set up running in the heart of Mumbai at Babulnath and Kolaba since last 6 years. Babulnath Clinic is facilitated with an in-clinic OT capable of doing minor surgical procedures like hair transplant, facial reconstruction, and cosmetic correction. It is also equipped with a nursing home and major OT facilitating major surgical procedure like liposuction, tummy tuck, and body reconstruction with consulting plastic surgeons. With an eye for cosmetic and constructive rehabilitation, his vision is to have a complete cosmetic rehabilitation center catering all reconstruction, including dental, skin, hair, and body. So today, Venus members, we bring you Dr. Abhishek Modi. A warm welcome to you. The stage is all yours. Abhishek, doctor, go ahead.
Thank you, Binduji. And it's always lovely to hear such an introduction from such renowned people like you. Presenting in front of you, I'll share my screen. So, okay. So let's start. Yes, just to get your attention, this beautiful looking female, I hope it calls all the attention that it needs. So yeah, the topic for today is going to be understanding basics of dentistry with cosmetics. Let's jump into what kind of topics are we looking at, and it's going to be about myself, my practice, then coming to the basics of dentistry, how people pursue dentistry, how it actually is, and then we're going to talk about cosmetics. Later, we'll talk about the correlation between dentistry and cosmetics. We're going to add questions to it, and then I'll share my contact details. So as Binduji said that I am a dentist practicing since last 7 years. I have been specializing in dental implants and facial cosmetics with completion of over more than 1,000 implants. And my key interest has been towards flapless implant surgeries. I'm sure it's some fancy words, and this was one reason I wanted to know how many doctors are there, because if I go wrong somewhere, I know where do I have to stop and who's going to ask me questions first. So coming next, facial cosmetics is an applied and enhanced expertise where I make sure that the entire cosmetic as well as dental outlook of a patient is, taken care of. And my practice has solely been towards implants and cosmetics. And along with that, I have always made sure that my patients are educated enough to understand the entire procedures which are going to go ahead, the entire approach towards the practice or towards the treatment, so that I have better coordination and collaboration with them. Next, we're going to talk about my practice. So yes, I run my practice under 2 brand names, that is Dr. Teeth Implant and Aesthetic Center, where I generally focus on my dental practice. which has been the core of my business and the larger, larger experience. Then comes the cosmetic aspect, where it runs by the name of Lueur, and it's a French word which means the glow. Now we have two practices. One is based in Babulnath, one is based in Kolaba, where we are catering to everything under one roof for dental, face, hair, laser. We have an in-house OT, which is capable of taking care of minor surgical treatments, hair transplants, facial reconstructions. I have something called as a dental spa. It's another concept which I have coined. And I have another nursing home attached to my clinic at Babulnath, which is 15 bedded, two major OTs in it, where we undergo body transformation surgeries along with consulting doctors of facial plastics and body plastic surgeons. Now let's talk about dentistry. The first thing which people think about the moment they talk about dentistry is pain. It's the most common thing that I hear from my patients or anyone. If it's my friend also, if I have to tell him, come get your treatment done, he'll be like, no, I don't want to come to you. I know there is going to be a lot of pain associated to it. The next uh, people think about dentist is cavities, root canals, and a very fancy term called as implants nowadays in the dictionary of dentistry. So I would like everyone to please unmute yourself and tell me if there is anything different than this that you think about dentistry. So can I really have people unmute themselves, tell me about dentistry and what they think about dentistry?
I think it also brings the word smile to me.
Okay. So that's really good approach, I would say, for a dentist, I would say. So anyone else to pitch?
No.
I think these four topics are going to
I will
Yes,
avoid.
there's a lot of, I gargle a lot, I get very nervous with a dentist. I mean, I'm not a person who's fearful of anything. The thought of a dentist, I'm already
gives you
feeling little.
goosebumps.
Yes, please, honestly.
Yes, anyone else would like to pitch in?
Yeah, doctor, I wanted to add that restorative surgery, especially after post-traumatic experiences like accidents and things like that.
Okay, so I think you have gone one step ahead, Sunil ji. Yes, and that's where, yes, no. So we'll take another step ahead, and that time we're going to talk about conservative dentistry. Sarita, would you like to add in something?
Yes, I would like to add. I'm not scared of dentistry, but I am scared. I don't have patience. So dentistry has to happen in one day. It cannot be delayed. Come once, twice. So I can't come multiple times. So I don't have patience, and that's the reason I leave all my, in between only the whole setting is left, and then I suffer. So
Okay.
you have to invent something. कि एक दिन में हो जाए.
So I'm going to add to that as well. And so this is, so this is what people think about dentistry. This is like a first-hand experience I get in every day. It's not like one day, it's not like, it's only some patients who tell me. These four things are generally the topics which I come across every day. It's about pain, it's about cavity, it's about root canal, and because it's my specialty, implants is my everyday 4 words to listen to from morning to evening. So let's take one step ahead and really understand what dentistry is. Okay. So going next to what dentistry is. Now, the first most important thing about dentistry to understand is dental education. How many times have you really taken some time to understand what dental education is? Dental education is a needed topic. In fact, I would say it should be in curriculum along with different topics which are being taught to people all around over here. Dental education is something which is going to help you not only in your childhood, not only in your teenage, it's going to help you all throughout your life. So that's where dental education really matters. It's going to help you to stop going to your dentist more often. Next that we do is preventive dentistry. What is preventive dentistry actually? Is again to prevent any kind of damage or any kind of problems that are going to come in future. So I think someone's
Please keep your. Someone is on unmuted. Please be on mute.
okay.
Kamal, can you
So
mute
yes,
everybody?
Let me do it.
so should I continue?
Yes, please continue.
Okay, so next after dental education is preventive dentistry. Preventive dentistry is about how can you prevent going to a dentist. Forget about treatment, just going to a dentist can be prevented by first step of dental education. Second step of preventive dentistry, where we take care of your dental health before a treatment is actually required. And that's where we come into conservative dentistry, where Sunil ji rightly said, where you conserve the structure which is actually available. Root canal is one of the treatments in conservative dentistry, where we are trying to save the tooth rather than remove the tooth. And that's the level that we reach when you talk about conservative dentistry. Then comes restorative dentistry. You have broken something and we need to restore it back, be it your smile, be it your chewing, be it your function, be it anything. That's where is restorative dentistry comes into picture, where you restore the damage which is already done. And cosmetics is the other part of dentistry, where people are inclined towards the look of their teeth, not only the function but also the look of their teeth, is when cosmetic dentistry comes into picture, where we are talking about teeth whitenings, alignment of your teeth, better looking teeth, better, the entire prospect of your dental is taken care and it's seen in the light of the looks of it. So every procedure that improves and enhances your dental look is going to be cosmetic dentistry. Now let's imagine the most famous painting, Mona Lisa. Okay, again I want members to unmute themselves and tell me, what do you picture when you talk about Mona Lisa?
She isn't smiling.
Okay, so few things. It's the most mysterious smile which has been spoken over centuries. It has been spoken around the globe. Every country has a different perspective to it. Every area and every genre, I would say, has a different perspective to it. What we think as dentists, it may sound funny that Mona Lisa didn't have a good dentist, and that is why she never showed her teeth. Or the painter didn't realize a smile would have added more magic to her face if the teeth were included. But along with that, we also see is, even if she's not showing her smile, she has certain facial features which has attracted people over the years. And why is that so? Because whenever you talk about cosmetics, you cannot picture a person only with the teeth. It has to be an entire face that comes into picture. So the next thing, that when we talk about cosmetics, it cannot be only the smile or it cannot be only good looking teeth. We have to see all the extra oral features as well. And that's when we talk about cosmetics, facial cosmetics of patients, where we include hair, face, while with using lasers and an overall outlook of their entire persona of their body. So imagine a person with an amazing smile, but a crooked nose. An amazing smile, but a swollen and thick lip. An amazing smile with almost all the cheeks going inside. So that's where facial cosmetics come into picture. So dentistry is always going to be one part, and facial cosmetics and looking good is another part. That's where we come and we correlate both the topics together, and we are going to talk about the entire face, entire body, entire cosmetics. So now basic dentistry. Now we'll slide back to our basics, and yes, pain. Everyone has complained pain. Everyone has spoken about pain. Dental pain is considered worst pain. Patients who have actually delivered kids have told it was easier than dental pain, because it just came and it was over in an hour. Dental pain comes at nights, stays the entire night till the time you reach the dentist. And why does it really happen? Because most of the time, the only thing that we correlate is when pain is there, when there is discomfort, is the time to go to a dentist. There is no other time, and there is no other patient I have seen who comes to me just because he likes me or he likes dentistry. Okay. They only come to me when they are associated with pain. And you understand, dentistry is a science where even we have limitations. If you come with pain, I cannot do a treatment without pain. If you come and walk inside my clinic with pain, I don't have a magic wand that I would just go whoosh and the pain is going to go away. When you come with pain, you are generally carrying a lot of infection, and during infection, your anesthesia also doesn't work. Deepa has been a kind patient to me since years, and she's seen my journey. And so many times it has happened that she's told me she has pain and I've never treated her. If she recalls back and she tells me if I lie, then I might have to stop dentistry. She's spoken to me thousands of times, and among them, several times she's told me that she's got pain, and I was like, take medicine. Why do we do so? Because when you say you have pain is when you are carrying a lot of infection, and any treatment done at that time is going to be more traumatic than it can normally be. So pain is going to be a symptom which is going to let you go to the dentist, but it's not going to actually give you a good experience. So don't wait for pain to come to reach to a dentist. Cavities, root canal, and implant. Now these terms, when you talk, is generally directly associated to pain. And I would say these are the three next levels of pain. So you reach a dentist, you have pain. The first thing that he's going to do, he's going to check you up and he's going to say that you're going to have a cavity. You already have a cavity. That is why you have pain or you have sensitivity. So the next thing that we always see is cavity, and that's where your first stage of dental problems start. Okay. If caught hold on the right time, a cavity can be just filled, it can be finished, and that's where the game is over. This is how patients think, but it's not so. A cavity once filled needs to be re-evaluated after a certain period of time. Every 6 months, why do the patients are called to the clinic? It's not only to fetch more money every 6 months, it's also to keep a check on the treatment that was done earlier. Be it a simple cleanup that you have done, has it been maintained properly? If it was a cavity that was filled, has it been kept properly, or is there any progress in the cavity? The next topic is where, when after a 6 months of checkup, the cavity has turned into a root canal. You have not taken care, the cavity developed furthermore and it turned into a root canal, is when the dentist see and requires treatment. But the first thing again the patient says is, डॉक्टर रूट कनाल क्यों करना है? कैविटी लास्ट टाइम किया था, इस बार भी कैविटी कर दो. Yes, again, understand there is a level where we can do a cavity filling too. If you have already reached the nerve, the core of your tooth, where the entire essential nutrition of the tooth is coming and the sensations are coming, you cannot just do a cavity filling there. I cannot remove the cavity from there. And what is a cavity? Can, like, literally, do we have the knowledge of what is a cavity? Cavity is generally a burr hole or a hole basically dug by the microorganisms in your tooth. It starts with a black dot, okay, and then you have added food, or there's food getting stuck over there. The bacteria ate and ate and ate, and along with eating the food and the debris over there, they have eaten away a lot of your tooth structure. This is a cavity. Okay, now this cavity has reached such a level where it needs to be cleaned up till the root of the tooth, because it's like a well inside. It has a burr hole, it has reached your nerve, it has gone all the way down to your tooth, and there is a big infection and there is a big lump of pus accumulated at the bottom of your tooth. This is where root canal is done, where your entire nerve is removed. It's cleaned completely. It's filled with an inert material. Okay. And so that, because the food supply to your tooth is removed, we always advise patients to get a cap done on top of it. Why do we do that? If I stop feeding a person for a very long time, the person is also going to go weak, and the next blow on that person may cause fatality to a person. It's something similar applied to a tooth. You do a root canal, you remove the entire food supply to the tooth, okay, and then you let it stay. It, over a period of time, the tooth becomes brittle. To avoid that brittle teeth to have any kind of complication in future, we protect it by putting a cap on top of it. Okay. Now, you probably went to a dentist during your root canal stage and you told the dentist, sir, इसके अंदर cavity filling कर दो, root canal नहीं कराना, बहुत दर्द होता है. And the dentist also agreed to you because you threatened him with all the possible ways. Okay. And he, instead of doing a root canal, he just did a cavity filling. Okay. Probably if you're lucky enough, your pain went away, nothing happened, or there can be 1,000 more reasons where you had a temporary relief. But again, over a period of time, the tooth has become so damaged that it needs to be removed. That's when you come to a stage where the tooth has to be removed and something has to be replaced in this place. So the older tradition of doing this was, if I lose one tooth, I took support of the front and the back tooth, I grind them off, I take support of them, I make 3 teeth instead of 1 tooth. This is called as a bridge. Patients always ask me, sir, bridge kya hota hai? मैं तो cap के बारे में सुना था. Okay, so bridge is 3 caps or 4 caps or multiple caps joined together, taking support of each other and replacing teeth which are not present. This is a bridge.
Slide is not changing. It's still
I didn't get
showing
it.
basics of dentistry.
Yeah. So we are just still on the topic of basics of dentistry. I just thought I'll keep slides less so that I can do more talking and people don't sleep looking at the slides.
Since you were talking about bridge, I thought you were showing a picture of a bridge.
No, so I was just talking about the basics of dentistry, where people, generally ask me this question of bridge. And
perfect.
This, current situation with the advancement of implants, okay, implant is a choice which I always give my patients. It has a much higher rate of success. Now, most of the time, the biggest conflict and the biggest problem that I face as a dentist is, doctor, आप तो implant बोल रहे हो. मेरे पुराने वाले डेंटिस्ट ने तो कभी इम्प्लांट के बारे में बोला ही नहीं, वो तो हमेशा ब्रिज करता था. Okay, so what happens, and this is again a question very often come to me, कि आप वो नए डेंटिस्ट हो ना, तो इसके कारण आप इम्प्लांट बोलते हो. मेरे पुराने डेंटिस्ट ने मेरे को तो ब्रिज बोला है. वो इतना साल का एक्सपीरियंस है उनको, अब जब वो ब्रिज बोल रहे हैं तो आप इम्प्लांट क्यों बोल रहे हो? Okay, so two things. Younger dentist doesn't means a a less experienced treatment, and second thing is dentistry has advanced, even you advance with it. Okay, so older days when we used to compare a bridge and an implant, okay, we used to compare the success of a bridge and an implant over a period of 5 years. Okay, because that is the life that we thought the tooth will survive. And during those times, implants were not developed, bridges were much developed. We used to do metal bridges, which are very sturdy. Okay, but over a period of 5 years, implant success rate was just 67%, while that of a bridge was close to 80-85%. Okay, as dentistry advanced and more research was done, 5 years later, down the line, we saw by the 7th year, the bridges start to fail easily, while the success of the implant was getting better. So more theory and more research was done, and the success of the tooth to have a better life was then compared on a basis of 10 years. More research was done, better implants were made. The success rate of implant now at this current stage in a 10-year period of time is 97%, while that of a bridge over a period of 10 years is only 63%. So what happens? Suddenly what happens? पहले तो ब्रिज इतना अच्छा चल रहा था, अब सडनली क्या हो गया कि इम्प्लांट कर रहे हैं सब डेंटिस्ट लोग. The reason is, firstly, the bridge takes support of two either naturally healthy teeth, or even if they are not healthy, they are already in a bad shape, they're taking support of those two extra teeth. The life of the bridge will depend on the life of the teeth which are supporting it. You're adding more pressure to those teeth which are either already unhealthy, or even if they are healthy, they're giving support to one extra tooth. Over a period of time, these two teeth become brittle, they lose their vitality, or they catch cavities. If you have not done a root canal to these teeth, they fail, and the bridge ultimately fails. While that of an implant is an independent identity. It's not going to take support of your adjacent teeth. You're not going to touch any of the tooth around it. It all depends on the health of your bone. If your health of the bone is good, I drill an implant, I put an implant. In 3 months' time, it's welded to your bone. So the next question comes, sir, implant इतना अच्छा है तो but इसका warranty, guarantee, life क्या है? I always tell my patients, implant once done and is successful in the first 3 months, it will go with you. It will go with you, along with you, wherever you go. Okay, so this is where basics of dentistry is covered for me on an everyday basis, for patients to understand where dentistry is heading towards. Now, as we move further, a step ahead in dentistry is the dental education that we talk about. Dental education is where we make it a more holistic approach, where we make patients understand what all is going on in their mouth. How can they, have a better dental setup? Okay. So when I talk about dental education is when I teach patients about how are they going to, take care of their teeth, take care of anything that's going to come in future, or probably inform them this is going to happen, be ready for it, this is going to happen, either treat it right now. Preventive dentistry works on a similar line. When I have educated you, I will make sure to do treatments which are going to prevent any further more treatments in your journey ahead. Conservative dentistry. When I have already damaged something, but I want to conserve what is left, is where conservative dentistry comes into picture. A cavity filling is a conservative dentistry. Root canal is a conservative dentistry. Braces, conservative dentistry. Okay. And you can add a lot of treatments under conservative dentistry. A gum surgery to prevent any further loss, to restore the health of your gum, is a conservative dentistry. Next comes is restorative dentistry, where we talk about what we have already lost, we need to restore it back. Be it a tooth, be it gums, be it the structure of the tooth, there is a lot to restore back. Okay. And then now we come to the most fancy of the entire dental aspect, is the cosmetic dentistry. Now cosmetics is something which is growing and growing with the awareness towards dentistry, with the availability of so many social media platforms, with the presence of an entire person only virtually, by just the look of him or her, by just the presence of that person on social media websites or social media platforms. Okay, there are thousands of connects nowadays you have that you have not even met. Okay, it's only about how they look, how they have appeared to you. Okay, so research has been done. You won't believe, smile itself carries 47% of your first appearance. A good smile gives a better first-hand experience to the person. And let's add more features to it. The next thing that a person always remembers is the eye of the person, then the hair of the person, then the face of the person, and last, if that person actually meets, the smell of the person. This is how people remember you. This is how your first-hand experience with any person is. And go back into all self-help books, all motivational books, all self-development books. The first thing that you will say and see is the smile of a person carries a lot of value. So when I talk about cosmetics, I am talking about dentistry and the entire general appearance of that person. So when I talk about cosmetic dentistry, it can be a better smile. A better smile can be a good teeth structure, a good alignment of your teeth, a good smile per se. Okay. So this is when I talk about cosmetic dentistry in terms of the size, shape, color, and alignment of your teeth. Okay. Now let's correlate. And as I told you, the entire facial cosmetics. I have given you a good smile. They are aligned teeth, and I look at your face, but only the smile doesn't carry the entire, the load of your appearance. It has to be associated with the perioral structures, as we call it. Okay. A beautiful smile can only and only be designed by just 2 injections in your nose areas. It's hard to believe, and it's difficult to picturize a dentist using Botox to give a smile designing. Okay. You may have very smile aligned teeth, but every time you smile, you show so much of your gums. Okay. It becomes more of a pink smile than a white smile. When you talk about someone smiling, you always picturize the teeth, and you picturize the gums. But imagine small teeth, so much of gums. Okay. So a simple Botox can be used to design your smile by covering the entire pink structure, and you can have a better smile. Now, if I have to go with the old fashioned and the old dentistry, I am never going to talk about Botox. I'm never going to talk about fillers. Okay. You may have a beautiful smile and you don't have lips showing up. Okay. A filler can do magic. In fact, the picture that you see on the screen right now, the upper lip is almost missing. I cannot make a differentiation in the upper lip. Okay. Add some fillers to the upper lip and make it a little thick. It will appear, the smile becomes much better. Okay. So this is where the entire facial cosmetics come into picture, where we are treating not only your teeth, we are talking about the entire facial thing. So let's address the biggest question right now in probably everyone's thought. And I'm very sure I can see it on Deepa's face, that how is a dentist talking about everything on the face? So let's think it the other way. Who told you a dentist cannot think about this or can do all this? Has there been any set rule? Is there a definition written where dentists are only supposed to stay in the mouth?
But that's what we've always been told and learnt in school as children and also experienced ourselves.
Deepa, can you please tell me one book which says dentist is only in the mouth? If you actually go and Google it or go and see on Wikipedia, dentists are associated with in the mouth. Okay, when you talk about mouth, you talk about teeth, gums, and the mucus structure.
Yes.
And the perioral cavity, where I talk about perioral cavity is, this is oral, this is peri. Okay, perioral cavity, the entire face. And let's give it a more rational thinking. Tell me, if we were not supposed to learn about anything apart from the mouth, why does a dental's curriculum has 3 years of studies including your entire body and especially emphasizing on everything above the neck?
No idea.
It should have been restricted. Only MBBS should have taught that. The reason is everything above your neck comes into the genre of perioral structure. Okay, where dentists are trained with the anatomy, physiology, and the biochemistry of that area. Okay, but over a period of centuries, I would say, dentist has limited their knowledge into the oral cavity. Either they were not trained enough, they were not given the right education, or they didn't have the entire facility to do so. If you ask me personally, 3 years back, even I would have never thought about it. Even I would have never thought, let's Botox for my patient, it may help. Okay, start doing fillers, it may help. Okay, and these are two therapies which dentists can actually use for therapeutic uses, not to only enhance. Botox is an amazing muscle relaxant. We can use it for clenching patients. We can use it for patients who have constant clenching, biting, bruxism, who has constant pain of the jaw, who cannot open their mouth completely. Okay, fillers can be an amazing tool for patients who are actually having problems with their corner of the lips. Okay, they already have reduced their teeth, they have drooping lips, and there is constant infections happening at the corner of their mouth. They always complain of having ulcers. It's not only vitamin B12 deficiency, but it is because your overall height of the face is gone. You have ulcers because saliva is again and again getting stuck in these areas. So I personally wouldn't have thought about more than the oral cavity 3 years down the line. This is where I started educating myself. And this is where I realized and I learned that it's only in India where dentists has restricted their practice only to the mouth. You go out, you see the Western countries where education is so regulated, where dentistry is so regulated, everything is under scanner. Why would countries like this permit dentists to do anything beyond it. Dentistry is one field which is more artistically derived. After us comes the plastic surgeons, where they actually have to design and make sure everything is natural looking. Dentists are the few medical professionals who are working continuously with high speed machines, very precise working. Okay, when we are working with the simple drill that we talk about, okay, the speed of a drill is 3 lakh rpm. It rotates 3 lakh times in a minute. The absolute, the depth of a cavity is not more than 2.5-3 mm. So dentists have always been working in smaller areas more precisely, and that's where, the entire cosmetic range of facial cosmetic work comes into picture. And hence dentists, I would say, now are more trained than any other person to do such minute, intricate, more artistic work. Okay, also, I am not bringing down anyone. There is a lot of faculties in MBBS who are actually doing an amazing job in terms of cosmetics. It's only our mind which is trained in a certain manner, where we make sure that dentists are only related to the mouth, where a cosmetologist is someone who you approach to. A cosmetologist is someone who you approach for cosmetic treatments. A dermat is someone who you approach for your skin diseases. And a plastic surgeon is person who you should approach for correction of any skin and body deformations. So this is how the entire definition of people go around with us.
Excuse me, doctor.
Yes.
We have 5 more minutes to go.
Okay, so I'm quickly, as I've given you the basics of dentistry, I've given you cosmetics. This is where we collaborate the entire concepts of dental and cosmetics, talking about your facial cosmetics, talking about body cosmetics. Now, coming to body cosmetics, yes, we are not the expert and we work in a team. This is where my center comes into picture, where we have dentists working with us. We have facial plastic surgeons working when we are doing facial corrections, constructions, okay, entire cheek augmentation, the entire, cheek augmentation, lip augmentation, nose augmentation, something like a chubby face. We can remove the fat from the, of the sides of it. If you don't have a dimple and you always desire to have a dimple, you can always have a dimple. And I'm talking about these procedures are 20 minutes procedure, done under local anesthesia, absolutely intraoral, without a cut on the outside. These things people need to be aware about. These things people can be approaching more nowadays. Okay, when I talk about body cosmetics, I'm talking about, plastic surgeons coming with dentists. Okay, where they are designing not only the face, they are doing liposuction of your, of your double chin, probably, doing something more advanced than this. When I talk about body cosmetics, our center is also equipped with doing major body transformations like liposuctions, tummy tuck, breast augmentation, butt augmentation. And yes, although our role is very limited in such procedures, we always work hand in hand with body plastic surgeons. When we talk about skin correction, it need not always be a disease. There can be some scars which can solely and wholly be taken care by a dentist. You don't need a dermatologist. You don't need to rush to your beauty parlor every month to get your facials done. A dentist is well trained to take care of chemical peels, which are an advanced form of facials. You may hear few of such peels in salons. They are much lighter peels. They are not controlled. We have a much controlled and more aggressive and better result giving peels and cosmetologists. Next we have is yes FAQs. So quickly we can have few questions from participants here and ask whatever they feel to ask me about dentistry, cosmetics, how we are working.
Members, we have 5 minutes for all your questions. You may please ask Dr. Modi.
Dr. Modi, I somehow feel that, whatever teeth I have is a gift of God. And whenever a dentist tells me there's an extraction, so I feel, he's taking a part of my body away. And I please tell him, he says only 10% is left, 15% is left. I say, whatever is left, try and preserve. So what's your view here?
So, Manishji, it's not always possible to save a tooth structure. But even if you insist a dentist will think about it in long term. Okay. Today, you may say that, doc, only the crown structure or the upper portion is broken and I want to save the root portion. A dentist can always give it a try. Okay. If I have any structure above the gum available, okay, we can always do a root canal. There is some procedure called as a post and core. We have the base of the tooth, we build the upper structure and we give it a crown. But imagine you asking a dentist that, doc, आधा रूट भी टूट गया है, इसको भी बचा लो. This is somewhere a dentist comes and he says that that's not possible. Because even if today, if I go ahead and save that small tiny structure which is left under your gums, the crown on top of it will have so much of extra and outside structure, it's not going to sustain over a period of time. It's not only to keep you happy today, it has to be a long-term treatment. It has to survive. When I give you a treatment option, it needs to stay longer. It's not supposed to just fix your problem today. So
yeah,
the call for keeping that tooth or no is always seen on a long-term basis. Will it survive in the next 5 years is the first question which will come in my head. If you ask me that, doc, isko bacha lo. If it can be saved for 5 years period of time is when I'm going to invest my own time, your precious time and your precious money. If I cannot fulfill all three of this, it's not worth saving it.
Perfect. I got it. This is absolutely fair enough. And just one more small question that I think I have a bridge. And you spoke about bridges now being only 63% success and all what. So do you think it's going to, take away my the other two tooth, which are,
So
supporting it?
this-
Should I get it dismantled or what? I mean, that's my question.
So now, Manishji, frankly speaking, your damage is done. Okay. The tooth structures which have taken support of, they are already cut. Okay. So now there is no, I cannot grow that structure back, or any dentist would not be able to grow that structure back. Only thing that you have to make sure for a good success of the bridge and to make it last longer is to have very good cleaning in that area. Future, your tooth which are supporting the bridge should not catch a cavity. If they catch cavity, address it on time. If they are not root canal treated, the next time if the bridge ever comes out, okay, get the root canal done of those teeth. Okay, so that the longevity of that bridge is still maintained. You have spent so much of time, obviously you have already sacrificed two tooth structures. Preserve it in a better manner, but in future when you lose a tooth, make sure you think about an implant first and then a bridge.
Perfect. Got it. Makes sense.
Yeah, so we end our talk over here. Binduji, please kindly thank the speaker.
Mr. Modi, I think this is one of our very, very good talks that we've listened to. You've not only helped us remove the fear of pain from our mind, but also enlightened us, given us a good sense of understanding that what was and what is and what will be. So जो हमारा system था और जो अब चल रहा है और जो आगे होगा. So it's very nice and helpful to know and understand, just like how Manish said, that yes, even I have a bridge and I know that two teeth had to be grinded to hold the middle tooth. So that may have been an old technique and we need to upgrade ourselves just like technology upgrades. Thank you so much for that enlightenment. You were absolutely patient, understanding, very clear. And I think we got a very good sense of your profession. Thank you. God bless you. And
Thank you
yes,
so
a
much,
lot many
Bindu ji.
of us are going to actually come to you. If you promise us no pain, then you have a lot to gain from us.
So I forgot to add on to this. So there's a concept called as a dental spa that we have bought. Okay. This is specifically for patients who are scared of dentists. We have dedicated a room for patients with dental phobia, because dental phobia is actually not letting 72% of people come and get treatment done.
Wow.
Okay. It's close to 20 million people every year not getting dental treatment done because they are scared. Okay. So to just bring that anxiety down, what better way than a relaxation therapy? Okay. So a relaxation therapy can be introduced, either I give you a muscle relaxant or a antipsychotic drug or something, or would you imagine yourself getting dental treatment done while you are getting a full body massage? So this is where we have done an entire dedicated room where you're getting your dental cosmetic treatment done, your teeth whitening, disinfection and desensitization done while you're getting your full body massage.
Wow.
Absolutely endorse that. I think so. This is not only technology, but you're working on the fear factor, and that's wonderful. Wonderful.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some soothing music in the background as well.
Yeah.
When I talk about a spa, it has to be music. It has to touch all your five senses. So obviously a good smell, a good music, a good feel, your body is getting relaxed and your treatment is done without fear.
Abhishek, I don't know about
So
the
many of the
others.
time,
I said I don't
so
know about the
many
others, but
of
I'm in.
the
I'm in for
time,
this. I'm
so
absolutely
many
in
of the
for it.
times before surgery, I just let the patient go. So many of the times before the surgery, I just let the patient go, sit on the spa chair and just relax for another 10-15 minutes. They are in much better mental state. They let me work well, and if I work well, the treatment goes well.
Yeah,
think
so
that's
I
very
would
nice.
definitely
That good tone.
all a visit to his clinic, not because I'm his patient, but yeah, the feeling of the spa chair and the spa room is something that really attracts me. And yes, the masala chai, which he didn't mention, but yeah, you must visit his clinic once for sure.
Thank you, Deepa, for bringing him on the dice for us. Thank you so much. Bless you. Thank you. All the very best to you, Dr. Abhishek Modi. Thank you so muji.
Thank you so much, Binduji.
Yeah, so members, now it's time for a 10 minutes break. Go take a walk and change your energies, answer the call of nature, get your tea.